for the Shop Report with
Barbershop Jay.
What up, sports fans? Welcome to the Shop Report. I'm Barbershop Jay. I'll be your host for the day. Here's what's happening. The number to call if you're up and around, you're out and about, and you want to give us a shout is area code 267-687-0026. Once again, the number to call is area code 267-687-0026. The Shop Report is brought to you by none other than the folks over at Rocket Digital Media. It's the one-stop shop for all your digital marketing needs. You can look them up on Facebook at RDM Detroit, or you can go to the website, rocketdigital.net. That's ROCKIT digital.net. And make sure you tell them the BSJ sent you. Has the NBA lost its intrigue? Intrigue, if I didn't say that correctly. Case in point, even though in the back of your mind it seemed a foregone conclusion, if you all remember that season, that the Bulls would win it all in that 72-10 season. I mean, and you could say that because there was still enough from the field. You figured, even though, again, that the Bulls would win it all that season, you knew it was enough from everybody else that they would at least put up a challenge. In this day and age of load management, don't look now, but it appears the Lakers and Nets have managed to find a way to load up. Barring injury, who can't figure these two on a collision course for this year's finals? And where's the intrigue in that? Joining me on the P-Rogram today to discuss this and one other item up for bid is none other than my cat from the NYC, a.k.a. Rucker Park. Brother Rich, what's happening? You want to try that again, Brother Rich? And on the other side of the ledger, we got my man from up north, Joey James, a.k.a. Double J. Tell the people what you say. You mean the M&M candy bar, chocolate candies moment. Yeah, got you. But no, I didn't get the Biden bucks. I mean, Brother Rich, you going for 3? It's all right with me. Hopefully we have my man Gully, D Gully from the CO Bus. Hopefully he will be joining us. But fellas, Brother Rich, we'll start with you. First of all, I'm glad we are finally again back in the saddle. We had to take somewhat of a hiatus, a little break, I might say, to take care of a few things, but nonetheless, we are here. Brother Rich, we started off again, of course, and I asked the question, has the NBA lost its intrigue? What say you? Has it? Oh, no, we don't. Luster. Right. Yeah. And Double J, before I come to you, I want to read something here. And this is from a guy on Twitter. His name is the Anonymous Nobody. Actually, two guys replied. The real Zach and the Anonymous Nobody tweeted, "It was cool seeing different offensive styles growing up as an NBA fan. You could actually see the difference in strategy when you watch teams play. Now there seems to be so many systems mirroring each other." Your thoughts, Double J? I don't know what's going on. We keep losing him. He's doing something on his end. But I'll ask you, brother, so we can get him until we get him back in here. What are your thoughts? It's yeah. So, has it gone away from, or Brother Rich, does it seem it has gone away from? It's not even about scoring no more. It's about sensationalism. It's because how many times have we mentioned on this program? Everybody wants to talk about what a guy's averaging and use a guy's stat line and have you noticed that the stats always seem to be in favor of the person that's pushing the narrative? You get what I'm saying? Like the points per game, for instance, or the 3-pointers made. I say you all keep focusing on the 3-pointers made, but that's just one piece of the pie. Yeah, he made 12, but he took 240. Do you understand what I'm saying? So while you all using a number, let's divide. I don't, for whatever reason, y'all excuse me out here. We are live. I keep losing Double J. I'm looking at my screen here, Double J, where my caller's at, and you keep coming and going. I know you can probably still hear me, but keep trying to get back in, man. We'll figure out what's going on. But it's not on this end. Unfortunately, I think it may be on your end. But going back to this NBA thing here, so much talk is being made about guys being able to shoot from the logo. But what I'm saying is, you took 200, you missed 9,000 of them. You made so what difference? Why is being able to shoot from the logo? Why is that the point of emphasis? Double J, help me out here. You want me to read that tweet again? Right. Sometimes. I know. When I say it's painful to watch, my sons still ask, "Dad, did you watch that game?" I said, "What game?" I hate to keep having to go back to revisionist history, if that's what you want to call it. But Brother Rich, you and I both know, and Double J, I'm sure you do too. There was a time when the NBA came on, you didn't have to ask me what game was on. I was telling you. You understand what I'm saying? Because you didn't want to miss a moment. But it's no way in the world, man, that we are watching professionals be anything but. Anywhere else you go in this society and you go to deal with a professional and they give you anything less than professionalism, are you coming back? Are you tuning back in? Now I get why we do, or I do anyway, to some. Well, I'm not going to sit here and lie to you, due to my work schedule or whatnot. The NBA is all but, non-existent in my world now, and I know they like, wow, why are you talking about it? Exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. All you have to do now, and this is, thankfully we got a decent enough amount of knowledge here on the program. I could watch a few 20 minutes of whatever the game was, the clips, and then come out here and give you a pretty good show, I think. But it's appalling. I tried to, it's appalling to sit down and watch it. You're going to get at least 3 or 4 minutes of action where nobody's scoring. And then the second thing this guy said, it was another gentleman, excuse me. He said, and this is Zach, and he's responding to the anonymous nobody. He said, preach. I understand trying to strive for what seems to be the optimal approach to win games and how analytics has entered the fray, but there's little variety now. Main difference between teams now is just pace. What do you say to that, Bro Rich? Oh, okay, got you. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not in disagreement at all. At all. I'm in total agreement with you. Double J, what say you, man? Has the NBA lost its intrigue? I know you were saying something, then we lost you, but now I got you back here. Who 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 who's shortening the season? Who you say who are you saying would shorten the season or should shorten the season? Oh, okay. You're talking about the NBA. Okay, right. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, lackluster, straight up buster. I mean, the Dolan that we got over here with the Indians, he's not as bad, but yeah, that's something to definitely point out. But that's the problem. That's the problem, and that's why ESPN is laying people off. That's why who was it? Was it Brent Musburger or somebody re-signed with CBS? They pick out the stuff. Listen, I'm not going to mention any names here, but this kind of reminds me when you talk about the regurgitation of or the redundancy. The here in Cleveland, they announced the addition of 5 new shows on a particular network here. Okay, I won't mention the network's name, which is a great deal. I mean, you're adding new shows, you're generating revenue. But the problem I have, the same talent was on the previous shows before the addition of these 5 new shows is going to be the same talent. You're giving me a new show, but you're giving me the same people on the show. So how's that a variety? It's not. You have to. Oh, oh. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, or Shaq. Yeah. Right. Right. Okay. So let me I'm glad you brought that up, Brother Rich. Let me fish back off of that right quick. The reason part of the reason, in my opinion, that we don't see the level of play and things that you and I were used to. You get what I'm saying? Like the time Doc brought a record crowd to the Rucker that no other NBA player that ever played that has ever done. You know what I mean? Okay. With all due respect to Kemba Walker, Kyrie Irving, and the likes, I've asked people this question and they cannot, and I'm not asking you all in this sense, it's just rhetorical. What point guard in the today BA who has the acronym PG next to his name is a floor general? And in addition to that, Chris Paul and Rondo, which I'm getting ready to ask you all in a second about Rondo. So in other words, these guys are talented, but they're not floor generals. And in addition to that, because we all know the point guard is technically or supposedly the quarterback on the squad, right? Especially when the game gets tight. Remember, I said basketball is about situations. And what you do in those situations goes a long way in your execution of. We got my man D. Gully from the CO on Bus. I'm glad you could join us. Gully, what it do? Oh. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Um, yeah. But what I was saying was, in addition to guys not being floor generals at that position, how many additions and moves have we seen here at the NBA? You ain't even got to be watching the game, of course, to have followed all the trade actions that's been going on. I couldn't even count all the, because I get like these notifications that pop up. This guy went to that team. That guy went to that team. I told y'all the NBA needs to get reversible jerseys. But how many players are being added to teams and that are really not complementary to what's already on the team? Everybody talks about chemistry. Fine. For me, it's complementary. Who you're adding, whether or not they complement what you already got. When you have a guy at that position, if the point guard is supposed to be the quote unquote quarterback of the team, are you adding the type of guy who like to just shoot around, shoot this and shoot that? Or are you adding a guy who really like a Chris Paul? I'll tell you another guy who got floor general attributes, and they on display. I got my fingers crossed that he can maintain it. That's LaMelo Ball. How quickly did he get into that lineup in Charlotte and they told Rozier or Graham, the two guys who were there before LaMelo now, they said, we need to holler at one of y'all player. Y'all gonna have to split time. What do you mean? What our host what? Oh, listen. Okay, listen. Hold on, listen. I will be the first person to tell you that I was not sold. But here's what I'm not sold on. If I don't see enough of you, what I'm gonna just say you is because somebody else saying it. Y'all know me. I don't follow nobody else's path, man. I cut my own and leave a trail. Come on now. I hadn't seen enough. There was some moments where when he played. And what did hold on. And what did I tell you? The same thing. Me and my son is the one who introduced. He said, "Dad, you think this guy's good?" And I said, "I don't know. I saw 2 games. I mean, I could do what Mel Kiper do. I could get on there and tell you this guy's got arm strength. Oh my God, he's going to be a and then he ended up being Ryan Leaf. Man, I got a reputation to uphold, man. Y'all got me bent. I don't do that. I don't blow nobody up or say this and that, man. If all I do is go off what I see. What I saw then, I see something different now. That's not criminal. Last time I checked in this town, but you know what? Double J and Brother Rich. And now back to our regularly scheduled programming. Gully. I done already used the button 10 times. Brother Rich got it 9. Double J got it 1. But the only reason Double J didn't get it more is because he kept dropping out. The call kept dropping. Otherwise, he was in line. Yeah, he was in line for it. But all I'm saying is, I can respect what Zion, but then I told you all too, at the time that I was not saying I wasn't sold, I'd only saw 2 games. I don't embellish when it comes to hoop, not sports in general. That's what I'm saying. I love it too much to lie on it. I lie for it before I would to it. No, I won't even do that either. But in addition to that, what I didn't know early on, I found out that his mother, remember we talked about that on the show, his mother had him watching the kind of dudes I got my son watching. Oh, well, my goodness. What I'm going to say no to that? Come on now. I mean, I'm still, I'm not anti-Zion. I'm definitely team Ja Morant, though, because I saw more of Ja Morant in college is all I'm saying. But at the end of the day, again, we so focused, and I say that figuratively, on the who as opposed to, especially when folks are saying stuff, it's not who. It's whether or not if what's being said makes sense. That's what I focus on. So it ain't the names on the roster, because look at the Nets. And we getting ready to talk about that, Gully. Of course, I want to get your thoughts. The Nets and the Lakers, they loading up. Where's the intrigue in the NBA anymore, Gully? Where's it at? They might as well just play the finals tomorrow. So no. Yeah, no. What was that old seniors like yourself? Yeah, I caught that. Go ahead, continue. The Lakers did that before, didn't they? No, 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 no. I said the Lakers. The Lakers did that before with Karl Malone and Gary. Did they win a title? Karl Malone and Gary Payton and them? To the Pistons. That's right. Yeah, okay. Well, go ahead. Go ahead. Are they stacked though? Yeah, are they really stacked? Yeah, that's the yeah. Well, I mean the but but guess yeah, and that's where we going next. Yeah, that's where we going next because Gully, go ahead, Double J. Yeah, I'm with you on that. They be like, man, this guy is the first guy since the last guy that could tie his shoe without while he was eating a popsicle because he was ran outside to get the ice cream from the ice cream man. And I was like, man, if you don't sit your big worm, excuse me, don't sit down, listen, man. You know what I'm saying? And who are you who you talking about now? Yes. Yes. Yes, I mean that's what it looked like to me. That's what it looked like to me. It looked like he, okay, got you. Oh well, I mean, okay. Who? 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 LaMelo? No, hold. Let me hold. Let me hold on. I liked everything you said. I was rolling right along. We was rolling. To that last part. When he develops his confidence and all that, listen, let me tell you something, man. He already got it. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. No, no, no. Listen. Oh, okay. So let me. Okay, let me tell you. See, okay. I'm looking at it beyond the manifest. I'm with you on the scoring, the points in production, points equal production or production equal points and so on and so forth. But that's not what I'm talking about. What I'm saying to you is, what I look for is what decision does the guy that got the ball in his hand, everybody's covered, you down one, and it's 37 seconds left. Do you understand that in this current possession, in that situation, that we playing 2 for 1, or we trying to get what we trying to get here? This dude, when I say he has, because Rondo's don't show up in the stat sheet either. But what I was going to mention about him, Rondo, and the Clippers, I looked at the Clippers roster because I was talking to RB a couple nights ago. He was like, man, they can't do nothing. Can't nobody beat the Lakers in the West. I said, I don't know, man. I gotta take a look at everybody. I ain't really looked at everybody. Then I threw the Clippers out there. I said, maybe the Clippers. He said, nah, man, because then he started, he's real good at matching up, man. But who gonna deal with who? Who gonna deal with who? I said, the Clippers ain't got no bigs. I said, they only got Zubac. He said, yeah, it is. So then I went and looked at the Clippers roster. Talent for talent, you're right. Lakers got the edge. But Rondo is the equalizer. I'm not saying that the Clippers and the Lakers meet, I'm not guaranteeing nothing as far as an outcome in the Clippers' favor or against the Clippers. But what I am guaranteeing is you'll see a different tempo and style of play on both ends of the floor. Rondo will control that game. And here's the example that I gave RB. I said, listen, a guy who was a floor general can do to what on paper looked like the Lakers should just run them out the gym, anybody, because they got all this size, then regardless of what league it is, it should have worked. If those things are tried and true, then there's no way Villanova should have beat North Carolina in the championship that one year. You go look at who North Carolina had on their squad. Everybody was 6'100". Go look at what Villanova had on that squad. Everybody was Anita Baker's height, 4 foot something. What happened? Thank you. Thank you. That's another good example. And RB said, "Well, man, they won on the last second shot." I said, "See, you all are looking at it up front. I'm digging through the pile. I'm going to the bottom and looking at it like, well, how were they even close enough for one shot to win or lose the game?" Villanova. Let me tell you what they did. If you go back and watch that national championship, you ain't even have to watch them that entire year. There's 2 games. Go look at what they did to Oklahoma with Buddy Hield, who was blowing through in college that year in scoring. Buddy Hield by himself that year in college up until they ran into Villanova was with the St. Louis Rams, the Los Angeles Rams or St. Louis or whatever they were, the greatest show on turf. By himself, he was killing. They exposed him. He could not go to his left hand. Buddy Hield couldn't. But he was getting away with it because nobody was playing defense. Villanova said, we're going to, whatever you do, they did what Bill Belichick is so famous for. We're going to take your strength away. When they beat North Carolina, North Carolina's bigs were the end-all, be-all. Jay Rice said, I got something for that. Let's see if North Carolina guards know how to throw a post-entry pass. And you know why we're going to test to see if they know how to throw a post-entry pass? Because we're going to stifle them at the point of attack. Took North Carolina's bigs right out the game and won that sucker. Yeah, on the last-second shot, but we was close enough for that last-second shot to win us the national championship. So what was going on throughout the course of the game? Melo brings he's a floor general right now. That don't mean he don't still have no growth to go, but he got the floor general attributes right now. Oh, well, of course, yeah. Yeah, he did. He sure enough did. Then you're talking about the consistency. Then you got to be talking about consistency because he put numbers up, and in the games he won't put. If you see a game of his that he didn't put up, talking about from just a point standpoint, you see his points were down or whatever the case may be. Go look at what everybody else got. This dude got Malik Monk. Double J, how many points did Malik Monk have in that game that LaMelo when he came in off the bench? Was it 39 or 49? And I didn't even know Malik Monk was still in the league. See, listen, here's what I'm saying. I'm with you, Gully. I'm not disagreeing. I'm not in disagreement with you. You're right. The dynamic scoring punch every night. Okay. But when people say the phrase or the expression, this guy makes everybody else better, quote unquote, and they use it with a whole lot of players, and I'd be like, oh, Jay, you just hating. Call it what you want. But you're going to hate to hear what I got to say while I'm saying, Look at Chris Paul. Look at Tyson Chandler before Chris Paul, with Chris Paul, and after Chris Paul. Look at Steven Adams, the short period he played with. See, that's when you say a guy makes everybody else better, that's what I'm talking about. I ain't talking about making a guy better because he can stand over in the corner all day waiting on a kick out to the left to shoot a three. No. Tyson Chandler in particular, his production in terms of points, where they were at when he was comfortable with Chris Paul versus where they were before, big difference. Chris Paul set him up in a myriad of ways. Man, it ain't a lot of guys with that acronym next to their name that do that. Not this early on. That I'm talking about. You got to go far back as you want to. None that I can recall. Man, I watched 3 games with that dude. I wish RB, if he was listening, I wish he'd call in. What I told him in the locker room. And this is before it actually happened. The next time I'm gonna have him come on. I told him, I said, man, that dude he can ready take. I thought he was gonna take either Rozier or Graham's spot, and this was only after 10 games, maybe. Man, I said he gonna take somebody, and sure enough, you see what happened when every time they put the boy in the starting lineup. What happens? That team look entirely different. The Hornets look to a certain degree. I see from them what I see from the Pelicans and what I see from the Grizzlies with Ja and Zion. It's something about them dudes, man, that the energy is better on them teams. Yeah, and speaking to that, something that you had mentioned a while back, Brother Rich, when yeah, not Lonzo, LeVar said that Lonzo don't want to be in New Orleans. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if you want to go and yeah. Yeah. Uh yeah, I mean yeah, because he's from Atlanta. Yeah. Naivete. There's an I. I before E, except after C. Yeah. No, it's the only one that I'm using. I do. I have 12, and I'm only using one. Oh, well, guess what? What were you saying? Ah, yes. I do too. Well, guess what though? Yeah, yeah, but yeah, but here's the, but yeah, soon part right. Yeah, but he was gonna do that. But he would have did that wherever he was at, wherever he was at. Yeah, but brother Rich, let me throw this in. Both of you all have a good point because there are some people who are grounded, like Kawhi Leonard, for instance. Kawhi been driving the same car that he had at San Diego State. So yes, there are. But the key is young young African American males in a society where grabbing the bag is the end all be all. Double J, I know that's all that matters. So okay. So in other words, it's akin to your point, Gully. If I got the money, man, I can fly to New York and L.A. whenever I feel like it. I got the money. But if I'm in, and I don't mean to bash no small towns or small markets, but if I'm a young athlete with a whole lot of money, and I was in one of them small towns, and I get my first day off to go spend some money, I look down the street, man, it's mom and pop's general store. All they got in there is mothballs. But now if I'm playing in New York, I ain't got to fly nowhere. I'm right there. I walk outside, I see Jigga. I see Benny Siegel. You know what I'm saying? I see Nas. You know what I'm saying? I see Busta Rhymes. I see KRS One. You know what I'm saying? I'm see, but down on the. What you mean, man? If you Zion and you playing for the Knicks, believe me when I tell you, go ahead, Double J. I'm not taking no for an answer anymore. Chicago, New York, yeah. Yeah. But wait a minute. But whoa. Let me say this. Hold on. Let me say this. Yes. Yeah, it's not. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Toronto. Yes. 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 But Brother Rich, Brother Rich, hold on. Brother Rich, hold on. Let me just stop you right there so I can get my thought out. One thing, there are movies beyond movies where they reference Cleveland as a joke still to this day. I'm just telling you. They really do. And Toronto, I was in Toronto. Well, it's been a few years, but not so long ago that I went to what's the name of the? It's a mall off the QEW, Queens Elizabeth Highway, in some Niagara Falls. Yeah, okay. Let me tell you something. I went in that mall, one of the biggest malls I had ever been in my life. I went to a Foot Locker. I had never seen the shoes that I saw in a Foot Locker ever in America except for one brand, and that was Jordan. My word is bond. When you talk about Canada in general, especially Toronto, it's always been international. Always. They are more so international on the map. They more so on the international map than, dare I say, Brother Rich, maybe LA and Chicago maybe are on the you know what I mean? I don't know, like, yeah, more than Chicago. But to your point though, Double J, as a sports town, all they needed was somebody with the key. Vince had the key. And we saw, because other than going there for a tourist type deal, going to Niagara Falls as in America, who cared on the American side about Toronto? Yeah. 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 Yeah, he did. He did. He did. Well, yeah, I think so too. I think so too. Now listen, the only shot, I ain't gonna say the only shot, but the best chance I think you got of a small market, you got to get a guy who grew up in a small market, maybe. I know he played for the Celtics. I'm moving because it's cold. I'm moving because it's cold. That's why I'm moving. I'm moving. I'm going somewhere warm. Yeah. Yeah, but listen, but the only place that you can get away with where you get away with that is Chicago and New York, with it being cold, because there's just so much more to do. There's just so much more to do. Yeah, or DC, right. But when you look at a map, yeah, Philly too. Yeah, Philly too. Yeah, Philly too. But go ahead, Double J. What were you gonna say? Yeah, but because yeah, I'm about to say Double J. Ask Uncle Luke. You know what I'm saying? People don't go to Miami to play basketball. They go for the attractions. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. At the end of the day, Coral Gables, baby. No, but I'm just saying, the people go to Miami for the. My goodness, you saw what the CDC said no, and the people in Miami said, yeah, no to this. They were the spring breakers. Man, please, it was how many people they hit the city of Miami or whoever, the mayor of Miami had to come out and say we gonna have to maybe shut all this down. Man, the first sign of it's nice outside, man. Oh, listen, let me tell you, man. Don't be a young dude. Don't be a young dude and you a thousandaire and you single. Miami, man, please, Gator up, baby, Gator up. Yeah, but at the end of yes, yeah. Yeah, it is. It's Toronto's off the, but I get where you were going with that. You know what I mean? I get what you're saying. At the end of the day, though, this whole idea about the NBA and whether or not if it's lost is intrigue. I mean, all I can say is, uh, from a viewership standpoint, I think so. But from a talent standpoint, what we've just mentioned in Zion, LaMelo, and Ja Morant, that intrigue. So the player intrigue, excuse me, the up and coming player intrigue is there for me. But the style of play, the WBA, I'll pass. Even on the playoffs, 267-687-0026 is the number. Again, area code 267-687-0026. What do you? Who was saying something? I'm reading. I'm reading the show notes. Oh, that was Gully. He just won. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I'm just saying. All right. Oh man, please wait till I start adding my upload my own sounds. Oh, it's gonna be just hey. Yes, you can. Yeah, I know you can't wait. Yeah. Should I continue, or do we have to keep? Can I speak now? Switching gears. Double. Oh, who's laughing? And cut. You shouldn't have gave. Yeah, you shouldn't have gave me no money. Yeah, brother. Did I hear? Did I thought? Oh, I thought I heard Brother Rich say something. That's what I thought. Yeah, okay. Yeah, Brother Rich, now he want to get his act together because I got buttons over here. You know what I'm saying? I've been warning y'all. When I get me some buttons, it was gonna be a Riz app, and I'm talking about chicken Riz app, baby, barbecue, buffalo sauce. Switching gears, I'm gonna slide on over to the NFL here and talk about Brother Rich and Double J's favorite person on earth. Hue Jackson. There's an article here, cleveland.com. If you want to see the full article or the article in its entirety, you can go there to cleveland.com and check it out. But I just sort of paraphrased the article. Hue is out here howling about his former employers, the Cleveland Browns. And I wrote down a few points or things that Hue pointed out. And I want to see if you all are in agreement, disagreement. Well, I know Brother Rich and Double J going to have a lot to say because they ride rented mules to the parade. Hue Jackson, that wasn't funny. I'm just saying. Hue Jackson says that Jimmy Haslam gave him a contract extension in that 0-16 season. Double J, do you find that odd? Here's something Hue also said in regards to the contract extension allegedly that was given to him during the 0-16 season. I wanted to go public with it, but the Browns didn't. Brother Rich, what say you about your boy Hue? Oh, wow. Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Well, I'll tell you what. He's writing a book, Hugh is. It's supposed to be coming out at the end of this year, so we'll see how that goes. There's no doubt I was lied to by ownership and the leadership of that team. They were going to be football plus analytics, but it ended up being football versus analytics. Gully, your thoughts? Well, he said he was offered that in the middle of the season. He said in the middle of the season they offered him of that season, or they offered him extension. What did you just say? As the what was what? Are you just want the button, don't you? You just want the button. What did you say? You see what I'm saying? This guy's a glutton for buttonment. You like that? That was kind of crafty, I think. Anyway, go ahead. What were you saying? Please apologize to yourself. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, well, guess what then? You said acceptance? Well, accept this. I wrote a song about it. Like to hear it? Here it go. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Hey. Yeah. It was 20. Yeah. That's darn Skippy. That's right. That's darn going right. Yeah, and I just want to say in passing, my man, shout out to my man Howard Schnellenberger. He just recently passed on. First coach of the Miami Hurricanes that I was familiar with, who actually, when he first took over the Hurricane football program, to be specific, the administration there, or the powers to be there, were this close. Oh, hey, Griselda Blanco. They were this close, and I mean, if you can see that like that of a mustard seed, that close to eliminating or just taking football out altogether. And then, of course, my man Howard Berger come on the scene, and 4 years later, we was a championship team. My bad, Gully. What were you saying? All right. That makes sense to a degree. Yeah. Asked why he praised Cody Kessler, which I had an issue with from day one. I've been going back and forth with people that at my 9 to 5 about this whole deal with Cody Kessler. I was like, I don't see, we always talk about who doing the grocery shopping. I don't know who was shopping for groceries that day, but whoever saw Cody Kessler and thought that he was an NFL quarterback while he was at USC was beyond me. But of course, somebody from the Browns at that time, the dysfunction was real, had to. But asked why he why he praised Cody Kessler on draft day, Hugh said, "You think I didn't know who that player was? Was I happy with that pick? Absolutely not. But that's what analytics, quote unquote, drafts. Double J, what say you?" No, you mean this is what happens when numbers, when like Mos Def said on that number, on the Black on Both Sides album, by the way, that song called Numbers, he said, when you push too hard, even numbers have limits. But go ahead, what were you saying? On hiring Todd Haley, Hugh said, I think it was the biggest mistake I ever made. I never, ever should have hired Haley. Gully, your thoughts? Well, you could say that. Yeah. Yeah. Brother Rich, we all. There you have it. Yeah, because it sure don't deserve. Brother Rich, you. Yes, yes. Yeah, but okay, and I'm well. Well, I don't know. It's not out yet, but you got ahead of me there, Brother Rich. I was leading you into questions. I see. I don't know if y'all picked up on that little pattern I just did. I was there were three questions here. I asked one to Double J, one to Gully, and then this last one was for you. You didn't even give me a chance to answer. Yeah, you didn't give me a chance to answer the question, but you kind of answered it. But I'll still ask it anyway, and you can add the rest of your thoughts here. I was going to lead in by saying, well, everybody here on this panel knows, and I'm sure, of course, obviously, the world knows by now, when it comes to the NFL and diversity in terms of management, administration, head coaches, et cetera, and the like, GMs, whatever the case may be, they fall short, right? Because that's still a question in the Rooney Rule and so on and so forth. So this whole situation with Hue Jackson, can a portion or piece of this be seen as, or is this a case for hired for diversity but managed for assimilation? Mm, mm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I still can't get over that one. I still can't get over that one. I wonder where they get all that money from. Oh, and by the way, did we fail to mention? I find it interesting, and this would be the last word, the last thought going up out of here from all three of y'all. So if you could make it brief, I would appreciate it so we can get on up out of here. But the NFL get. You asked for that. I like how you asked for the way in which you did it. You disguised it. You know what I'm saying? It was like, oh, look, Red Riding Hood. Oh, no, it's the wolf. Oh, whoa, whoa. But you asked for that. How is it that the NFL just inked a deal with Amazon? If I'm not mistaken, I didn't read all the details, but I just know $100 billion or something or another in TV contracts, all that stuff, they went together in the NFL. NFL, $100 billion TV contract. But 10 minutes before this new TV contract, $100 billion NFL and all that stuff to go together was all before the ink was dry. They just decreased the salary cap by 8%. Double J, give us your last thought. Oh, wow. Good one. Brother Rich, $100 billion TV contract? Oh, okay. Okay. You're going to lower the salary cap by 8%, and then on the heel, and right after that, just announce that you're getting $100 billion. Where's all that money anyway? Gully, your last thought. Good stuff, fellas, as always. And on that note, it's been fun, but we got to run. We appreciate y'all for listening. Don't forget to check us out here. Check us out right here on Spreaker.com. All right. I will. Yeah. Or check us. Yes, that's darn right it is. That's Doc Severinsen. Or you can check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts, as well as the shop's Facebook fan page. And if that don't work, Google it. For my mans, Be Rich, Double J, Gully, and all those who follow and support us, we say thank you. I'm Barbershop J. You've been listening to the Shop Report. And remember, the next time y'all want to know what's really going on, come to the shop. Walk-ins are always welcome. Holla!